Jen told me that my house should sell in the first 2 weeks. It's week 3. I haven't had any offers. I don't understand. We've had lots of showings. I think we've had 20 showings. A couple people came back twice. Somebody made a really low offer. I didn't even counter. It just was too low. It didn't make any sense. So now we're going on 3 weeks, and what's up? I'm really disappointed. I want my house to sell. We need to talk about the definition of market value. And we need to talk about the concept of list price as a tool to get the right buyer into your property so that we can assess if we're at market value. So the definition of market value is what a ready, willing, and able buyer will pay and what a ready, willing, and able seller will accept. 2 very different numbers probably, right? The goal is to make sure that those 2 numbers are the same. And if those 2 numbers are the same, we have market value. So list price is not reflective of market value. It should be. And if I've done my job, we have analyzed it enough that we have a pretty good idea that we're putting it out at a price that's going to attract a buyer, right? But the thing is, when we come up with our list price, all we have is data. All we have are, all we can do, or all we have are assumptions. They're educated assumptions, they're educated guesses, but we truly won't know what market value is until we have the other full half of the equation, and that's what a buyer is willing to pay. So if you get on the market and you get a lot of attention, which new listings do, odds are you'll find a buyer. Will that buyer pay you list price? Maybe. If you find 2 or 3 buyers, will you probably get list price? Hopefully, right? But you might not. I had a situation recently where I had a house on the market. We listed it at the exact same price as the neighbor's home. The neighbors just closed, so we know that their number was market value because a buyer and a seller agreed on it, so that sets the bar. That house had a few more things than we did, but the market is a little different from when they went on the market, so we priced it at the same number. And we got an offer. Well, actually, we had about 20 showings. It took a while to get an offer. Although those 20 showings happened, no joke, like in the first 10 to 12 days. And when we got an offer, it was not list price. My seller was disappointed and really didn't even want to negotiate. So we talked about how it is important to always negotiate. I was just telling my son, who's thinking about buying a car, that lots of people start low, and you don't really know where a seller or where a buyer is going to go until you see how they respond to the counter, because you need the buyer's number and the seller's number. That's the only way you're going to get to market value, is if you're looking at both numbers. So once you have an offer and you have a list price, you now have 2 data points. And the goal is to obviously bring them together at a number that makes everybody happy and everybody comfortable. So we countered, and the buyer said it's just not enough. And they explained the differences, and they explained why they're not offering as much as they were offering. But then over time, and I say over time, it was really only a couple of days. It was over a weekend when we did have additional showings and no additional offers. The buyers came back and they agreed to come up a little bit. And my sellers ultimately agreed to meet them at the number that they were offering. And here's why we did it. I showed them the statistics. I showed them what the market was doing. That particular market had about 2 months of inventory. Now that doesn't mean it takes 2 months to sell a property, but if you've listened to me in the past, you know what absorption rate is and what inventory levels are. 5 to 7 months of inventory is a balanced market. Anything lower than that is a market that is favoring sellers. So if you think about it, in a seller's market, when you put your house on the market, it should sell because it's a seller's market. Yet this particular home had 20 showings and no offers, or 1 low offer. In a market that is only 2 months of inventory and you've had 20 showings, that means 19 people decided not to make an offer. That's a very significant number. And what it tells me is our list price is not really right. And I was very afraid that if they didn't take this offer, that 3 months from now, they might be looking at an offer that's much lower. So they slept on it. They thought about it. I explained again. I laid it out pretty clearly, and we took the offer. And now we're good. We're in attorney review. And I think everybody's happy.